Hey everyone, my name is Love Cosma. Welcome back to my channel, where we discover ourselves through astrology and use it to make our lives better. And I'm glad that you decided to click in again. And we're going to be talking about the sign of Aries today. So yeah, that's the plan for today. It's not going to be a super long video. I'm sure I'm going to talk on this subject again, but I definitely want to introduce the sign first, given that it is the first sign of the zodiac, tropical Western modern, astrology. It is the first sign, and it happens to also be where my sun is. So like and subscribe if this is what you're into, and let me know if there's anything I can do better as well in the comments below. But with that being said, let's get into Aries, my personal favorite zodiac sign, because that is where the sun is for me. The sun was in Aries at the time that I was born. Um, that is the time period March 22nd to April 22nd, just about that time range. It give or take a day or two. Um, my son is also in Aries, so it's a really cool and it's honestly difficult sometimes thing there, because he's like a spitting image of me. I can't get mad at his impulsive and erratic behavior that is so characteristic of us, the sign of Aries, in the sign of Aries, because we're ruled by the planet Mars. Mars has to do with aggression and war, power. What would I call it? The intuitive and the primitive drive of mankind that pushes us forward to new levels of existence. That's Aries. Initiation of new levels, new experiences, new life. Aries season is the beginning of spring. Life begins at the beginning of spring in the when you're moving in rhythm with nature, because we have to realize nature moves at its own rhythm and pace that we as humans can choose or to move with or not move with. So, if we were moving with nature, ideally all of our suns would be in Aries, because the sun is exalted in Aries. The sun loves to be in Aries. And why does the sun love to be in Aries? Because what is the sun? The sun is the soul of man. The sun is us. The sun is God, but also the God within us. And it's the God within us that's here to learn and grow and mature. Just like a seed is to go from a seed to a plant. During the time of spring, which is Aries season, we know that time to change is this Aries energy. And the sun being there is great in this reality, because that's what we are here to do: grow and change from our experiences. That's what an Aries is all about: making mistakes and learning from those mistakes to make a better life, make a new life, a new way of living, and to show others the example of how to do that. So this sounds an awful lot like biblical characters. Not only Jesus, there are other figures in biblical literature that are represented by the sun, but the sun is here to show us the way to live through their own mistakes and through their own life. Others judge the Aries harshly, and the Aries is now the reason for many things. That's what it means when Aries is the initiator. Aries becomes the reason for many things. People blame and the Aries, almost, or people, but it's really a weird thing because I feel like as an Aries, it's very hard to come by someone who's like actually giving you encouragement and telling you about, you know, the great things that you do, the things that you do that they couldn't do, and so on and so forth. So it's a very special, I think, life, being born with the sun in Aries, because it's so, I think because intuition is so deeply embedded in our being. It almost makes it where we're like this wild ram just going whichever direction aimlessly. It almost seems like we have no direction and we're aimless, but we're actually running off of intuition, intuition from a higher power. And that's when it comes to tropical versus sidereal astrology. This is where it becomes very important to understand both, because in Aries, typically in sidereal astrology, will be a Pisces, which is the greater and the unknown force, the sign of the greater and the unknown force, the sign of the mystical mysteries of life. So sidereally, all Aries, or most Aries born around a certain period in March, and even the Aries that aren't born in that period, I think that each zodiac sign reaches not only forward to the sign ahead of it for inspiration on how to be and live, but also behind it. In sidereal astrology, this is really evident because your sun sign becomes one sign before. So in this reality, you can be both a Aries and a Pisces. Know that, Aries. Any Aries watching this video, remember that you're also a Pisces. You're also a Taurus. You're a bull. You're a ram and you're a bull who's guided by the unknown intuition. You're here to hone that bull ability, the ability to push a project to its finish. That's the goal of the Aries, and that's the goal of man in this life. The goal of the soul in this life is to push your projects to the end of their goals. That's the evolution of the fire signs in the zodiac as well. Aries being the child, and Leo being still the child, representing still the child, but the older child that has the ability to create and sustain creativity and sustain reputation and sustain leadership. And then you have Sagittarius, the one who's willing to bring it all the way to the end, to light the flames of other fires, the fire that's going to burn all the way to the end, to be the fire that is then converted back into Aries, new fires everywhere else. So it's the evolution of fire and the evolution of man's soul. That is Aries. That's why Sun in Aries is very important. Sun is exalted in Aries, even though Mars rules Aries. Mars rules Aries because Mars, and that's what Aries needs to understand, because you need to conquer your anger. As an Aries, it's very important for you to understand, to listen to your anger, listen to your emotions, because it's there for a reason. That's that intuition I told you about that comes from a higher place. You can't help how things make you feel. A lot of the times you're very innocent. The innocent lamb or ram of God is the Aries, because a lot of the time you don't necessarily understand what is driving you to make the decisions that you're making, but it's almost like a child who just wants to be loved and wants to, so it really, that's what you ultimately have to come down, think about, is when an Aries gets mad, it's just a child that wants to be loved. It's just like a child who's crying and they just want to be loved. And they're meant to cause change in this world for people, in order for them to feel that love. The adult has to stop what they're doing and go and coddle the baby. And that's how Aries ends up being the initiator of change, by using that crybaby, that intuitive, emotional realm that has been given to us. We are able to make changes in the world because we demand that things be done the right way, like a child. Like a child is just looking for nourishment. The child just knows that it's here, it's been put on earth, it doesn't know why, it's just looking for nourishment and is crying until it gets that nourishment. And you have to think about Aries in that way as well. Aries has an anger issue that they need to learn how to control, because that anger is their demon. You know, angels and demons, right? Aries can be the angel, the Lamb of God, but also Aries can be the devil, because Aries, if Aries can control their anger, that's what will be used to demonize them, and will be used to show, you know, their destructive nature, when really Aries is just here to learn and grow. They're a child. They're like a child, a baby that needs to always just be given love. So even that's kind of showing you also the relationship between love and hatred. You know, you can only fight hatred with love. If an Aries is angry, they're looking for love, most likely. And you can only you give them love. You can't fight fire with fire, because Aries is a competitive sign. It's never going to give up. It's going to take a long time for Aries to give up on fighting for what it wants, because, you know, generally what it wants is love. And in that situation, you know, I'm not sure if I'm really doing this Aries metaphor justice, but, you know, Aries generally need to grow and learn in life. Aries needs to stop blaming the world for their problems and grow up and mature in life. That's what we're all here to do. That's why Aries becomes the example for everyone, because Aries is hyper aware of this chaotic, childlike nature that they have to mature and learn to tame and grow up. And then they become the diamonds. That's why the birthstone for Aries is diamond. My kids are starting to cry. I'm going to have to probably get out of here soon. But the birthstone for Aries is diamond, because, you know, Aries isn't just meant to sit here and cry and change things. He's not just meant to be the boss, baby boss. He's meant to actually mature and learn to be a king, like Leo, like the actual sun. So the sun is exalted in Aries for that reason. We are meant to be more refined and stronger, like an actual warrior, like the Leo. Like the sun, who comes and actually rules and saves the day. Mars rules Aries. That's anger, that's power, that's aggression. You need to learn how to let the sun rule Aries. That's leadership, generosity, virtue, sacrifice, love, romance, protection. All of these things having to do not only with the sun, but also you see it reaching forward for some of the characteristics of Taurus, which we'll get into next time. But I hope that this was a good just exposition of Aries. I know that a lot of people have their interpretations of signs and of astrology, but I really do feel this experience as an Aries, and I feel like it makes me well able to like describe the experience, but being in Aries is a real blessing because, you know, you come to realize and you become the example for others that everything that you put your mind to, you are capable of. Everything that you put your mind to, you are capable of manifesting in this life, as long as it's for good and it's for love, out of compassion, that Piscean energy. Hone into your Piscean energy, Aries. Hone into your ability to submit and to be compassionate and to be vulnerable. These are the keys to your life, Aries. Listen to what I'm saying, because anytime that you mess up in life, it's going to be because you are not submitting when you're supposed to. You are not being compassionate when you're supposed to. You're not being vulnerable when you're supposed to. These are your keys to life, is understanding that you're not just a crybaby, you're not just a screw up. You're God's crybaby and you're God's screw up, meant to come here and learn and mature and show others how to do the same. So I'll leave it at this. And this is my lecture on Aries. I'll do Taurus next time. If you like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below if there's anything I missed, because I did just come, straight off the dome today. No preparation at all. So if I miss something like major, I probably won't even notice it unless one of you leave a comment. So yeah, stay blessed and have a great day. Make someone else's day better with your day today, and you will never go wrong. And you all have a great day. Bye.